everybody. So it's been a long time since we put a video up on the channel, but now it's getting closer to trapping season again, so now videos are going to probably be coming up a little bit more often. So what we got today, as you can probably tell, is bait. We're making some bait, and just to right away say this is not this is not our recipe at all. We got it off from someone else on the internet. I don't remember where it came from, but most everything that we have learned is all from other people. So got my recipe here, a few measuring utensils. I'll show you what the recipe is as we go. This here, these are all flavors which we're just going to be adding in some extra stuff, but man, Dad, you're loud. Anyway, so sardines, you need 2 cans of sardines. This is fruit pectin for canning. This is just this is Ball brand. You need what is the measurement? I don't know, but it's 1 thing of liquid fruit pectin. I'm not sure exactly what the measurement is, but they're all the same size. So 1 thing of liquid fruit pectin. You'll need some flour for adding in. You don't need this much. We just bought a big bag, so then we could have it for over time. Some sort of oil. This is canola oil, cheapest oil you can buy essentially, and bacon grease. So we say bacon grease when we make bacon, and that's what this is. The other thing that is on the recipe is anise, anise oil. Last year we used anise extract. We didn't have any anise oil. We don't have any anise extract this year, so we're not using any. So we were kind of straying from the recipe anyway, and now we're dropping it off the recipe altogether, but it doesn't really matter. So, and then we have some various flavorings that we're going to probably add in just because we have them, and we're going to try it out. So, to get started, you're just going to want to open your 2 cans of sardines. I just got a large metal mixing bowl here, so make sure and get all the juice in there too, and so scoop those in there. Bring some crackers into the shop, and you can have some of these while you're making your bait. These are in soybean oil actually. We've done, last year we did some that were just in water, some that were in olive oil, some that were in mustard, some that were in ketchup, and we had pretty much the same success with all of them, so I don't think there's really a big deal of what kind of oil they're in, or water, so that's not a big deal. Next thing you're going to need is 2 tablespoons of oil. So that'll be the next step. And by the way, last year we tried putting it in a blender to mix it up, but it don't really need it. It just made one more thing to have to scoop the stuff out of and clean, so just a bowl is a lot easier to work with. So we just need 2 tablespoons. And once again, I mean, it's not an exact recipe, so if you leave something out or you don't measure perfectly, it's not going to really make that big of a deal. And then you're going to need 2 tablespoons of bacon grease as well. Approximately, that is. Okay, so then you can add in your fruit pectin. I'm going to need a scissors. And the idea of this is it's a paste bait, so that's what the flour is to make the bait more of a paste because it's kind of liquidy but once you have the flour in, it becomes nice. Play-Doh is kind of the consistency you're going for, sort of a Play-Doh-y consistency. It's nice because it scoops out of the jar really well if you get the consistency right, and it just makes it a lot easier to deal with when you're out on the trap line, because otherwise it's all watery and doesn't work very well that way. So. Okay, there's the pectin. And finally, at this point, just kind of mix everything together. Break up the sardines, mix everything together, and then you can start adding in the flour. So, and I'll add in the flavorings at the end, so we can kind of get a smell for it, and what it's going to smell like, and so we'll see. Probably be a good idea to have some sort of a scooper to do this, but I don't really have anything handy right now, so I'm just going to be careful and dump it in slowly. So I put in about that much flour, and just keep adding flour till you get to the consistency that you like. It doesn't have to be what we do, the same consistency that we do exactly here, but basically find a consistency that you like and you think it's going to be good, and then stick with that. So this is still pretty sloppy from what we did last year. You want to get, you'll see when we get to the end, it gets to a nice consistency and really sticks together and isn't very watery or sticky. You could almost really touch it and you wouldn't really get too messy from it. So that's kind of the consistency you're going for. Still probably gonna need some more flour. This is edible. I mean, everything is from the kitchen and you could eat this, but I don't know. I thought about eating it before, but you probably best not to. I don't know. So, take a video of eating this stuff and send it to us. We'd love seeing that. So it's getting a lot closer now to consistency. It's sticking to itself more now than the bowl. It's getting definitely closer. I think it still needs, a little bit more flour. But it's definitely getting closer now. Just give you a little visual of what it's looking like as we're mixing. So, sorry, I don't know exactly what the camera is showing. I'm not looking at the screen's tipped the other way, so I can't really see what's going on, but hopefully you can see all this. So that's actually a pretty good consistency there. It sticks to itself pretty well. It's gooey, but yet it's not too goopy that it's going to really be watery, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to explain the consistency, but you kind of just get a feel for it. Mix it up, and when you think that it's good enough, then just go with that. So it's already got a lot of smell from the sardines and the bacon grease and oil, but now we're going to add in some extra stuff. So here we got some molasses. Add a little bit of that in. This is where it goes from a science to an art. Now we're going straight from the recipe to now just adding in to what looks best. Oh my molasses is pretty good smelling. So basically just make it stink so coons will come. I mean, that's the whole idea of this anyway. This is more of a call bait than a bait type bait, like for them to actually eat and have this in the trap. We used this a lot on our DPs last year, and we used it, we put a little dab on the top So it's not a lure because it is a bait. They would eat it, but it's more like a lure because really the main purpose of it is just to call them in. So might add a little more molasses later, but I'm gonna see what some of this other stuff we got. We got a lot of this stuff actually from a friend of ours. So I'm not exactly sure what it all is. Don't like the smell of that, but I think this is more molasses here, so I don't think I'm going to need that. Oh, goodness. Oh. That's not molasses. That's something else. Whew. This. Can't. It smells like. I don't know, that's not the best smelling. This stuff, this I think is apple flavor. Oh my, that's good. Ooh. A little bit of that in there. Don't think it's going to take a lot. Ooh, wow, that's pungent. I'm saving my favorite for the end, that cherry flavor over there. That big jug is, that's some good smelling stuff. We use that. Last year we had some, use that to call them in. It smells very, very good. Smelling better already. Now this is actually like, it's omega-3, kind of like we take fish oil, but we actually accidentally ordered the wrong thing. So, we didn't really want to eat this because it wouldn't taste good. Okay, there's no cap, but we thought, well, it's mango, peach mango tango, so we'll see if the coons will like that. Put a little of that in there. Want our coons to be healthy, right, Dad? Omega-3s. Right. Exactly what they need. So this is really an experiment because we never did any of these flavors last year. So we're going to see how it works this year. If it's better or worse, we'll see. Probably won't make a huge difference, but never hurts trying to help all them in. A little sweet, a little fishy. I'm going to add a little bit of this. This is really good smelling stuff here. This is cherry flavor and oh my. It's very potent and very good smelling. A little bit of that. I think that's going to be about it for this batch. I might add a little more flour now that I've added a little more liquid here. And yeah, I'm definitely adding some more flour. Ooh, wow. Certainly smells good to me. I don't know. Coons will like it or not, but it certainly smells good. And then what we do for our bait is we just put it in a peanut butter jar, old plastic peanut butter jar. That seems to work pretty good. You can shove it in a bag really easy. It doesn't get everywhere because it seals nicely. And it's small enough that if you have a small bag, that you I prefer carrying a smaller bag because it's not as much to carry around. Dad likes carrying a bigger bag, but it still works well for a small bag because it's a small container and it fits in there really nicely. So, so that's what we'll do now. Just take this. This is the final stuff. It's actually pretty good. It smells like fruit and fish. So I'll put this in a peanut butter jar. We'll probably freeze it and let it wait till season starts and then take it out of the freezer maybe 1 or 2 days before the season. So it does freeze. That's the other thing I wanted to mention about this is I think the pectin is supposed to help it not freeze. It does freeze. It doesn't freeze as quickly as if it was just like a watery type mixture. So yes, it does freeze. So if you're looking for a non-freezing bait, this is obviously not going to do the trick because it freezes, but it doesn't quite freeze as quickly. And I think it takes a little bit colder to freeze it than like a water-based bait. So It's not freeze-proof, but it does have a little bit of, you know, I don't know what to say, but it doesn't freeze quite as easily. So just keep that in mind if you're making this, know what you want. I think that's about it. If you have anise oil or anise extract, you can add that in as well. You just need to make sure and add enough because it takes a bit to actually be noticeable. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, add flavors like I did, or just stick to the recipe. We had great success last year with just sticking to the recipe, so I just thought we'd share that recipe with you, how we make that. We had a lot of great success with it last year, and hopefully you do too. So have fun and see you on the line.